Welcome to Sociology Tanzania YouTube channel, the channel which is produced by Tanzanian Association of Sociologists. Please subscribe, share, and like. This channel will cover sociology issues and studies. In these presentations, we will cover the history of Tanzania sociological associations and the role it plays and its role in Tanzania. And this is your presenter, Bituro Pascari Kazeri. On the onset, I want to take you through the story which led to the formation of Tanzania Association of Sociologists. In 2013, a group of sociologists were conducting a scientific study on and about the allowances paid to members of parliament. The debate about it was rampant in the public discourse, and it was started by Honorable Zuberi Zito. By then he was the member of parliament. Honorable Zito was of the view that members of parliament were highly paid, not only remunerations, but were getting heavy allowances, while the rest of civil servants were meagerly paid. So he saw to him that there was serious inequality, which was creating a huge income gap between very few and the majority. The issue of inequality and the payment and the views of the public is seriously taken by sociologists. So in that background, some sociologists said, okay, this is a good researchable topic. So they went on and about to research on whether what Zito was saying was correct or was not correct. So they embarked on the study to find out what are actually members of parliament being paid, what is their salary, and what is their allowances, and what were the reason for those payments. In the course of conducting the research, which is not, of course, the subject matter of these presentations, the researchers went to some areas and met research participants. They met two prominent Tanzanians. When they went to Kerewe, they met the late Emeritus Bishop Fortunatus Rukanima. Fortunatus Rukanima was by then retired and was residing in his home village in Murutunguru, Kerewe. By profession, aside from being a priest, which took him to the level of a bishop, Rukanima was academically trained as a mathematician and an economist. In the course of the discussion, aside from the sociological, the research issues, there was a serious discussion about the status and the welfare of the society in Tanzania. Bishop Rukanima pointed out that the way he sees it, he doesn't see much input from the social scientists, especially the sociologists. So that was the point taken. The course of the research that was conducted by those sociologists took them also to Dodoma, which is the seat of the Parliament of Tanzania. While in Dodoma, they happened to meet Professor Gabriel Aidani Mwaruko. Professor Mwaruko was by then the Vice Chancellor of the Tanzanian University. He was a trained medical doctor who later on turned into a public health practitioner. And before joining St. John University, he was the director of TANESA, Tanzania Netherlands research project on HIV and social issues. So he was, of course, knowledgeable as a medical doctor, as a public health specialist, and then a social scientist. In the discussion also outside the research, he pointed also on the issues raised by the late Bishop Rukadima, that he doesn't see the input of social scientists, particularly, and in particular, indeed, sociologists. So he pointed a finger at us that the failure, whatever the failure that our society is having, is because we as sociologists are not doing what we are supposed to do as an academic and a professional subject. With that in mind, out of the field, we had to ask ourselves, as a sociologist, what are we supposed to do and what are we doing? The outside see us as doing nothing or doing very little. And on our side, we knew we cannot accomplish much at the level of individual, but we can do it at the level of collectivity. So we started searching. They started searching. Do we have a collective forum for sociologists in Tanzania? The search revealed nothing. There was no forum which brings together all sociologists as professionals, like the way it is for lawyers, the way it is for engineers, the way it is for medical doctors, and the way it is for engineers. And having seen what is happening in Tanzania, then we went to the global arena, where we found that in the US, they formed their own sociological association during the First World War, I think in 1917. They had it. And at the international level, at the global level, we found out there was a body which brings together all sociologists, and that is International Sociological Associations. And we found that Tanzania was not a member. So we were not represented and we were not even known on that arena. But small countries like Afghanistan, which by then was known for the terrorism war waged by the United States, was a member to that associations. So from there we said, okay, that we should make an attempt to establish an association. And that came to be a reality in November 2013. So maybe because this challenge is starting this year 2023, which exactly marks the 10th anniversary of the Tanzania Sociologist Associations. So that's why we have it. And sociology, Tanzania Association of Sociologists is an association which brings together all sociologists. It's a voluntary association for academic and professional issues. The membership is open to any individual who is a graduate of sociology. The member is also open for collective members, like universities which offers, or any other institution which offers sociology courses or running sociology courses. And the membership also is open to anybody who subscribe to its mission, vision, and objectives. And the main objective generally is to promote and realize the goals of sociology in the society. If we may borrow the words from Professor Anthony Giddens, who says, sociology makes us make what we want to be. So, being a member of Tanzania Sociological Associations, then you contribute to make our society, that is Tanzania, to be what we want to be. So, here we are, 20 years on the road, 10 years on the road, and we have achieved not very much, but not very little. Because we have done several researches, we have done several annual scientific conferences, we have tried to advocate, to put some advocate for social issues, and we've done consultancies for social matters where we thought our service was required, and was required, and we were welcome. But maybe this would be also a very good opportunity to explain the role of professional bodies. And what is actually a professional body? A professional body is the body which brings together individuals who have commonality in the professions. Professional arises from a discipline, an academic discipline. So you get an academic discipline, you learn sociology in the university or in any institutions. But when you go to the field, that is where you go and practice sociology that you have learned from a discipline, from the learning institutions. So in our society, be it in the private sector and in the civil service, there are sociologists. They are not employed as sociologists because they are doing other things, because the sociologists can meet or match or be employed in an area related to an issues concerned with human beings in the social society. So we have sociologists who are practicing sociology in whatever they do on a daily basis. We have also sociologists who are doing research, sociologists who are teaching sociology courses in the universities, and sociologists who are employed in the sector in several areas. And these, if they want to perform better, they have to be in their collectivity. And that's where we get the professional bodies. So many scholars have pointed out several roles or the importance of professional bodies. One of the role or function of professional bodies is to set the standard of practice. How sociologists or how sociologists or members of that particular body should conduct themselves in their day-to-day activities. Then, if we have a standard, that's not enough. Then comes the second very important function of the professional body, which is to make sure that the practices and the principles it set are complied. So it is practice compliance. The third function of a professional body is to advance the professions. That's why it's time and again we bring, when we come to the annual meeting, we bring in new findings, new studies, and share. So we sharpen and give them new input which can make them do better in the field. Another is to safeguard the public interest, because all professions are made to serve the society. So you have to serve them ethically and make sure that always the society is on a gaining side, not on the losing side. So you make sure the society gets better output of your output. The other function of your professional bodies is to represent the professions. Whenever there is an issue, so they say, okay, we want the professional bodies to come and give the advice on a certain matter. So for sociological issues, and that is why it's clear, because we didn't have a collective body, so our input was not visible. It was not, there was no representations. And another issue is, another function is safeguarding members' rights and the privileges. So as a sociologist or any professional body member, then you've got your right and your privileges, which cannot be tampered with. If they are tampered, then the association body stand out for you. Another function of a professional body is to monitor training. Because there are new skills, new knowledge, new discovery. So you are out of the university, you cannot go there, but you need it. So that's the role of the professional body, to bring you on. They give you short seminars on the new development. Then we have the service to community. For us, for sociologists, the communities needs us more. As time goes, it needs even more. Another one is raising public awareness for and about sociology or about the professional body. And the two important function of professional body is networking. For example, now, because we are the members of international sociological associations, we network with with sociologists the world over. We share information, we share the discourses, and exchange what we have and get what we don't have. Another role of professional bodies is referencing. And for now, you see, if you want to apply for an openings, the most cases, what are you affiliated to? So for sociologists in Tanzania, that was missing in terms of just networking affiliated to university or the employer or the. But it's very important that is a very important point if you want to when it comes to job opening. And so that is short history of Tanzania Association of Sociologists, which is a professional body for sociologists in Tanzania. But maybe before we end up our presentations, it's very important to note that in most countries, except for a few in Europe and America, sociology is taught in tertiary level of education, academic education. In our case, it's only taught in the universities. And in Tanzania, sociology courses were at the University of Dar es Salaam since the first since the 60s. By 1969, the University of Dar es Salaam had a full-fledged department of sociology. But now, as we speak, Tanzanian individual can be admitted for sociology courses in the University of Dar es Salaam, the University of Dodoma, St. Augustine University of Tanzania, and other universities who have the Open University of Tanzania and the other universities of higher learning in Tanzania. So, as a country, we are proud to see that we are generating sociologists who are out in the field doing whatever they are doing to advance and serve the community. We hope we will contribute to make them be good savior of our society. Thank you for listening.